Welcome to Flowcast, the podcast of our art and science project Flow. This is episode number 20. You can listen to all the previous episodes on the main podcast platforms, and you can find more content on artmusicscience.substack.com. Today we're traveling to Melbourne, Australia to meet Elissa Goodrich, composer, vibraphonist and sound artist. Elissa worked on segment 20 of the River Lake, a heavily channelized stretch dammed for hydropower with no natural dynamics remaining and no restoration plans in place. And yet, the reservoir it created can only be reached on foot, and the nature that has settled around it is by all appearances pristine. That contradiction between the artificial origin of a place and the life it now sustains became the heart of her composition. Welcome to Flowcast, Elissa. Do you want to give us a few words about yourself and what you do?
Oh, yes. I'm from Melbourne, Australia. I'm a musician and a composer and a sound artist. I trained as a classical percussionist, actually. As a musician, I've worked mainly in various contemporary music forms, and currently I work both with musicians only in musical contexts, but I also work in cross-art forms, so I work in independent theatre, and I'm also working with climate scientists, making music and sound art out of their data, which is often sound data. Originally, that was working with bioinformaticists and climate geneticists. And over the last few years, actually, it's been working with fluid dynamics engineers. So they're looking at water.
So this is probably what has drawn you to this project.
Yeah, I have to say it's a combination. It's the holistic nature of the project too that Flow has offered. So it's not only about the water. It's about the landscape and its use and its change over time. I quite love that, actually.
Yeah, that was quite an important theme of the project. In fact, you were not given just a field recording of water, but you were given also some geomorphological context, a video, a time-lapse video with satellite images. I was wondering if any of that material influenced you, like you used all of them, or did you consider some of them more than others?
I hungrily took whatever was offered and sat with that material for some time. What I found in different ways, what I was drawing on was the story of the geological changes. I found that really fascinating, that the rocks and the sediment could be so changed over such a long period of time. I think that really captured my imagination, and also the beauty of the visual imagery that was offered. Like the time-lapse video it's so beautiful. I guess because those two elements were really quite new when exploring water and water sources. So I really took them in.
If you consider the time-lapse video has been done using images across, well, not many years, I think 10, 11 years, I don't remember. I mean, from the geological point of view, that's not even a second. And that's a heavily industrialized area. So you shouldn't see anything moving, but you do. So you can see that. That's very interesting. And you also used the connected sounds.
Yeah.
Connected Sound was an initiative that started from the collective of artists who suggested that everyone voluntarily would share a bit of their field recording or their composition, so that anyone could just go into that folder, listen to the other bits and possibly use them. And you did use one or two of those, right?
Yes, I did. I used the beautiful sound offering that I think it was Bill McKenna in the first segment offered, and Anya in segment 19 beautifully offered to share her material with me as well. And then I did take sneakily a segment of the field recording. I was looking for the river, a sound of the river sort of in flow, more so, excuse the pun. And so I took a field recording from segment 12 because it had this beautiful sense of bubbling flow. And the reason I did it was sort of at a philosophical as well as an artistic level. I was thinking of how what is the memory of water? What is the memory of the river? And so these became early and then constant reference points in this segment 20 that I was playing with.
Yeah, this is basically why the project is called Flow, because it's just water flowing in space but also in time. The other important theme of this project is the ecological and anthropological questions that accompany necessarily the renaturalization projects. You've been working on a segment that is very fitting to this topic because that's a very industrialized area. On that part of the river is mostly dams, but in between sometimes you find places like the one that you've been working on, the tranquil reservoir where you can see nothing artificial, even if the very existence of the lake is artificial. But it seems like a little oasis of nature and peace. So I was wondering, have you reflected on these ethical questions, and has this impacted your composition?
Oh, absolutely. I think, in fact, it's kind of how you were explaining it. I was really struck by what I called the paradox between this highly, highly recreated, redirected part of nature that this segment 20 is, and yet from what you and Martina had shared, it seems like it is an oasis for nature at the same time. So at the same time as all its ancient history, you know, being devoid of minerals and being devoid of what it used to be, it now also offers an oasis for the present. And I find that confounding, actually. It's like it's both beautiful, but maybe we don't recognize under the beauty how much has been destroyed. But at the same time, it offers hope, because even when we've destroyed something, we can still find places for nature that nature will spring forth and create anew and regenerate.
Yeah, nature will find ways to adapt and reconquer its spaces. So out of all of this material and thinking, the result was a beautiful composition, which has also several instruments. You want to introduce us to the ensemble?
Yeah. Yes. So because I've been working around the ideas of water locally in Melbourne with this beautiful ensemble of musicians, so all of us, I guess, sit at the crossroads between contemporary jazz and contemporary classical. And so it was a beautiful opportunity to weave in some material with them. So that's Gideon Brazil plays saxophones and clarinets and flute. Elliot Folvick plays electric guitar, and Miranda Hill is on double bass, and I'm playing vibraphone.
Now, let's listen to Elissa's composition, The River Remembers.
you.